Good evening. My name is Attorney William Farrell, here representing Chris Young to my left. Chris has purchased a building on Stillman Place. To make you familiar with where that is, that's we have North Washington Street, the cut that comes up from the tunnel exits. And it's a narrow single lane way, let's call it, right on the street. They had a fire in this building a year and a half or so ago.
About a year, a couple of months.
And this building was principally destroyed in the fire, burned through the roof, burned through the floors, damaged the two adjoining properties on the side. Chris is proposing, he has purchased the building, is proposed to restore, renovate, and improve the site. The building's history is that it had been a four-unit building up until 1995. The owner at the time applied to make it a three-unit building. We're not exactly sure why, but their last file entry was that. There's a subsequent file entry where they went back and asked to do work on 4 units. So it's a little unclear whether it was 3 or 4 at the time of the fire, but the city considers it 3. So we've applied to make it a 4. And in making it a 4-unit building, if you could see that first one, what you saw was that taking the face of the building first, is the face of the building doesn't change. In other words, it'll look just like that row of buildings has looked right along. But what we intend to do is at the rear of the building, there are these backyards that are in the rear of the building. We intend to take what is a basement level in front. You only see the upper level on the street side. But when it goes through to the back, it's full height. So we want to extend that basement level out to the lot line in the back where there's an alleyway or a yard. And then that's 17 feet, by the way, going back 17 feet. And then the upper stories, we want to bring those out, these 4, by a distance of 8 feet. Wide. The floor plates on these units are relatively small, so by doing this, this will allow us to create 2-bedroom apartments on the upper floors and a duplex, which would be the basement and the first floor. The upper floor units have a gross square footage of just about 600 square feet, so by the time you take the staircase and so forth, you're about 575, I think. Gross is about 612 and end up with 575. So it's not a big unit that's even with the additional 8 feet that we're taking to bump it out a little. And on the bottom, you will have a duplex unit, so it will be larger. That's about 1,275 square feet, and that'll be a 3-bedroom unit. What we have done is this building is connected to the first building on the street with fire escapes that will remain the same, and that's both in the front and at the rear. It will be fully sprinkled. Chris has already gone in and done the remediation work, meaning he's put a roof on so that it doesn't continue to leak and damage the surrounding properties. He's gone in and put all new floor joists, ceiling joists, etc., to hold the walls up.
Not yet, but that is the plan, the process. We got the whole front.
The top floor.
Yeah, the top floor, we had to put all new eye joists in. We had the front repointed, new sills and lintels put in, and we're replacing all the floors.
So what that leaves is we get a number of violations because technically we're creating 1 new unit now. As I said, since the city considers 3. When you create the unit, you're supposed to have a parking space. You hear this regularly at these meetings. We don't have any place for a parking space, so we're in violation of that. We are not doing any roof deck, nor are we doing any balconies, etc. So we don't have any open space. We're required to have 100 square feet of open space. But the decision is, in respect of the neighbors, etc., is no roof deck, no balconies, so no outside interference here. These will be rental units, not sold as condominiums. Chris owns a number in the neighborhood. And lastly, this is in the groundwater district. It's what's called the groundwater district, so we have to comply with what they call groundwater recharge. You'll see that on the refusal letter. What it means is when you engineer this, has to be a methodology whereby the rainwater that comes in off the building has to be, quote, recharged into the ground. So usually a holding tank, and then that releases it so that there isn't an issue with pilings, et cetera, on the ground. The last is. Oh, and this, they don't know, this will go through design review with the BRA, which is a process that pretty much everything with North End and waterfront has to do in terms of whether it's an appropriate design or it fits into the area that it's currently in. Chris has met with abutters on the street and behind, and that resulted in the balance of bringing back those 4 upper stories so that they protrude 8 feet, so as not to protrude all the way back to the rear lot line. The rear basement does, but the rear basement, as you can see, is that lower level, so it doesn't really block or shadow surrounding buildings. With that, I think that's sort of a walkthrough of what's proposed. We don't have a date yet at the Board of Appeals. This is fairly fresh.
Bill, did you say these are 1 bedrooms now, or are they 2 bedrooms?
Chris may know it. It's hard to kind of tell what they use them as.
I don't think it's been occupied for probably 10 years.
Well, the upstairs floors haven't been occupied. The 3 top apartments haven't been occupied for at least 30 years. The apartment downstairs was a studio and had a basement, but the basement was just a utility basement.
I just want to say for the record that both George and I are abutted to this property. We, our bylaws don't preclude us from voting on it. We, just want to point that out for record.
Yeah, on my end, folks, I've been there for 25 years. I bought the building 20 years ago that I used to live at. And the fact of having an empty building next door to us was an issue. And we had also some issues along the way for 20-some years. And the final chapter of that issue was a fire that destroyed that property, destroyed our property, destroyed the property on number 2. And it could have caused somebody's death. It would have happened at 2 o'clock in the morning. It could have caused somebody's death. We do have an issue right now with number 2, Stillman Place. They haven't come up, step up to the plate and fix their property yet, which I'm sure is going to raise concern with Chris and the rest of the abutters there. I've been in conversations with Chris since he bought the building, and he's made some concessions along the way. One of the concessions, as Bill mentioned, was not protruding all the way to the back alley. It's a source of airflow for the buildings there and light. And we do meet the requirement for open space in our buildings because we have patios, which is something that Chris has chosen not to. We still do have some concerns. One of the concerns we have is the access to the alley from behind the building. That alley has been a problem. It's been a source of crime. Heroin needles, alcohol bottles, neighborhood kids hanging around there after hours, people going to the bathroom there in the feast. So we are concerned about what having an actual access there will cost, and none of us want to go and have to shovel the back alley. Nobody, taking the snow out of Stillman Place is a fiasco. It doesn't get plowed. We have to cart it out of the space, and doing that in the backyard will be nearly impossible. That's one of the concerns we have. The rest of the issues we've had, Chris has been a gentleman dealing with them. I'm the direct abutter, the one that's only affected right now because I live next door. Nobody's living in number 2. Philly's behind them, and I'm happy to have a landlord next door like we are that is actually going to look after the property and do the right thing. So as long as Chris stays within the boundaries that he set for himself, he's got our support. You know, and I'm saying it from this seat that I hold the council, because we're not, you know, there's no conflict of interest here. I don't profit from his enterprise, he doesn't profit from mine. So, but we're excited to have him on board. You know, there are a couple of hiccups we had along the way. He's addressed with us. I am thankful that he will do the same as he goes along. I don't know if you want anything to
Chris,
add.
these windows I haven't seen before on the back, what's the name for those?
This is the back, this is a bedroom back here.
No, on the ground level on the back, the basement level.
That's they're not gonna be that large, that's just indicative of where they're gonna be placed, they're gonna be small windows there. The rear of that building is actually a bedroom.
Okay.
So the downstairs is gonna, what will happen is when you walk in Stillman Place, you'll walk in, you'll go down a set of interior stairs, you go into the apartment, go down the interior stairs.
Yeah.
The front of Stillman Place will be a living room, middle is a kitchen, back is a bedroom. This door is basically a second means of egress out of the basement.
Okay.
So initially, we were thinking about maybe using that as a way for them to walk in, but in lieu of the fact that we had some preliminary discussions about possibly putting a gate up there to prevent the people from coming in and out, we redesigned the inside so they'll walk in from Stillman Place. What we're actually gonna do is the water recapture tank is gonna be situated under that set of stairs. So it'll be partially in the ground and partially closed in. So when you walk in, you'll walk on a platform of about maybe 5-6 feet, and then go down the stairs to the apartment. And that's where the recapture tank will be, because the drains will come down the back. And then the rest of the remaining space over here will be a bedroom and a bathroom downstairs.
See, I think the concern that we have is, in this neighborhood, 3 bedrooms tend to attract young professionals, people who, you know, are a little bit more inclined to party. The living spaces on the basement level, we just don't want that to be an entrance in and out for people, because it is.
I can tell you that if you speak with some of the realtors, most of my apartments, I make the living room space, the common area, very small. This might sound a little crazy, but I'd rather them go have a party somewhere else than in my property. So I make the bedrooms a little bit more generous, and I make the kitchen living room area smaller. So basically, you can maybe fit, you know, a 2-cushion couch and maybe a chair. You know, I don't leave enough space for someone to run a big party. And I try my best not to rent to students. I stay clear of them. And I do pretty good background checks along with a lot of the realtors. So I think if you check, I don't think I've had a complaint on my properties as far as noise and parties, and I try to monitor pretty closely.
Is there a chance to eliminate that altogether and to maintain the open space in the back as well?
The rear windows of the
It's an
basement.
entire,
Well, the whole purpose of going out is in talking with the abutters, it's fence height, so it's not gonna be anything, no one will actually see the sides, because George has his fence on his side, and building number 2, the 2 Stillman, has a fence. So this is actually gonna be behind the fence, and that's why we figured if we went out, we had that extra space.
Plus it eliminates, George's building, he uses that, that's a very nice patio to use. But in a rental unit, you don't necessarily want the outside space, the rental unit for that reason. You don't want the barbecue out there, you don't want the people sitting out late at night. et cetera. So-
What I can do is, if the windows you feel will be an issue where it's a bedroom, I can put in windows that don't actually open. They'll just have a transient part that just, almost like a canopy style window, but they'll be glass just for light purposes. This way here, there'll be no noise. The purpose of only having 2 windows also is in speaking, that's gonna be a bathroom and this is a bedroom. And then the side of the building that you can't see, in talking with a few of the others, there are no windows. Because we were concerned with the close proximity of the side building, any noise coming in, maybe going into kids' rooms when they're sleeping. This side, the only reason why we kept the window on the south-facing side is because of the fire escape. So building number 2 wanted to maintain that, even though they have a fire escape in front of the building. So we put the window there so we can just cut off the existing fire escape and reattach it.
So you guys will have sprinklers, you don't need the fire escapes anymore, right? So that's just for
No,
that.
we did it for that.
And is there any update on what they are planning to do? about that?
I actually have, talked to them about their property. Ideally, I would have loved to have purchased their building and did both buildings at once.
Yep.
They were very unrealistic, and I think there's some internal fighting. There's 4 owners. I think only one person physically lives at the building. The other three are investment class. They've got an unrealistic thought of what they think their property is worth, and I think they have an unrealistic view of what it's gonna actually cost to fix it. The gentleman who did it, it's totally been demoed inside, but you can tell they're a little bit inexperienced because they saved their granite counters, they saved the, hoppers, and when I walked through with one of the owners, she said, well, our intention is to reuse these items. And one of the problems they're having is that 1010 Mass Avenue, because they had to pull a long-term permit, is requiring a sprinkler system. So to try to help this process, I put them in touch with both my sprinkler design guy and also the guy who brings in my sprinkler pipe, hoping that if they can get the ball rolling, we can cut the street once and bring both pipes
Where's
in.
that line coming?
I'm sorry.
Where's the sprinkler line? Is that on?
Stillman Place.
The lights, yes. That's what the water
Question?
comes up.
No, I just want to, we've had a couple of issues. We had a really cold winter, we had some frozen pipes, we had some issues with the roof as we were trying to, Chris was trying to put a rubber top on the roof, and he's been very good at dealing with the issues, and I got his cell phone number, anytime I call him, he responds immediately, and that puts me at ease, we had somebody next door who didn't answer the phone for 20 years, and again, put everybody on that block at risk, and I've said on this council many times, we're talking about empty properties and people trying to develop them, and there are butters having a fight over it. I'm nothing but pleased that there's somebody there that actually wants to invest next door to my house to bring that property up to par with the other properties on the block. And if anything, moving forward in the future, if Chris continues to respond to the fashion he has, I don't think we're gonna have major problems. I think that if you can deliver what you have planned and stay within those boundaries, we should be in a good place. And again, if you do your due diligence of who you rent to, so we don't have the issues that we've had in the past. The proximity of the butters there, it's very tight quarters. The buildings are very small. The footprints are 17 by 27. So it's tight quarters. So if we don't get along, we don't get along.
It's just to be clear again, it's 8 feet from the face of the building to the end of it.
Yeah, the existing back side of the building is going to go out 8 feet. The total length of the yard is 17 feet wide by 18 feet.
Okay.
So it'll only be 8 feet off the existing brick to the end of the new brick, and then the remaining space will be open space for the south sun to come.
Another thing I like about the fact on the street level, on the ground level like that, he's got skylights on the roof, which prevents people from coming on to party on that roof, which is an issue,
Yeah, my intention is to put floodlights in the back there and cameras, because I put them on my buildings.
Yeah.
So that, hopefully, if we can meet tomorrow, I'm gonna bring it up in the butters meeting. If we can get the okay to put that gate up from both the butters and some of the, and the city, I think that'll.
And at the same time, we've had an issue over time that Phil and I had discussed prior to that building selling, and other abutters on that block have discussed, is the fact that that walking alley, which is maybe the width of a narrow sidewalk, it is a dump ground for all sorts of things, illegal activity, and they had 2 gates years ago, and the gates were taken down. And they had 2 nice bar gates with emergency openings from the inside. We'd like to go back to that, which will protect all of us. Probably the fire was caused by somebody in the building, who went in the building to the back, some mischief went on, and the place was set on fire. So the reason why I'm saying is because we're on video, and we'd like to ask the city to allow us to do so, and combine with the abutters on that block.
I think just one other issue that I might foresee is the rainwater. As you mentioned, there's a slight pitch down, and no water tends to go in there because the fence is falling down. I don't know what kind of steps we can take to.
What do you mean, the existing rainwater? Well, this will be out to the property line. The rainwater from my roof you're referring to, or that whole area?
The whole block, everything that ends up in that alley ends up going down to your block of buildings.
Okay.
So I don't want it to become an issue for everybody
Maybe that's
around
something
here.
if, when we talk to the city, maybe if, I don't think it would be a tremendous amount of money to get them to come in and regrade the asphalt. If they could pitch it away, that might be something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing in the middle. Any other questions on the council? We'll open it up. Any abutters? None? Any other questions from the audience? Okay, we want to make a motion, we'll close the,
We'll make a motion to vote on this.
Thank you.
Thank you.